Good morning everyone. Today we will talk about Chapter 3 DAV CMC book Class 8 Natural Resources, Vegetation and Wildlife. So let us begin. In the beginning the earth was barren planet. What does this word refers to? That means empty planet. There was no life in water or land. Gradually, life appeared in the ocean first in form of plants, and slowly various types of other organisms appeared on the earth, were broadly classified as animals and plants. The assemblage of plant species in an environment is known as natural vegetation, which includes forest, grasses, shrubs, etc. So, as from the introduction, in this chapter, what we are going to learn, we will learn natural vegetation and wildlife of respect to India. So let us come to the word natural vegetation. When we say natural vegetation, two things are most important factors for the growth of the plant. One is temperature, another is rainfall. So in the areas where rainfall is very heavy and the temperature is also moderate to high, there you will see thick and dense forest. As the rainfall decreases towards higher altitude, you will find the occurrence or the emergence of vegetation also kept on decreasing. Okay, now you will ask me, ma'am, why are you drawing the latitudes? So in this concept can be easily read from the latitudes, distribution of latitudes, because from the distribution of latitude we can understand that sun is giving direct sun rays on equator, so which make the temperature high, and that from high temperature, as evaporation is more and the precipitation is more, we know on the equator we get maximum rainfall of 200 centimeters or more per day, and each and every year it happens. Okay, so throughout the year we are receiving more than 200 centimeters of rainfall on an average, right? So and on the tropics, if we take round figure 30-degree north and south, you will get a bit less rainfall than equatorial region. On 60-degree compared to tropics, we are getting less rainfall, and on 90-degree we are hardly getting any. So this is how you can consider the more higher latitudes you are moving, you will find the rainfall decreases and the size and concentration of trees also reduce. Okay, so shrubs and short trees are common in the areas of low rainfall or in the desert areas. What kind of trees you will find in the desert areas? Mostly succulent type or cacti kind of trees you will get in the desert region. Why so? Because precipitation is very less, and the type of shrubs or grasses or cacti we have there, they can store moisture in them. Okay, so these are some climatic reason why are we getting so and so type of natural vegetation in over different places. Okay, like in the cold desert we find scattered patches of mosses and lichens. So this is about natural vegetation. Now here's a map given. Time to time I also provide some maps to make you understand each and every part. So let us come to different classification of forest. Basically in class 8 we have three broad types of forest. First is tropical hardwood forest, Mediterranean forest and temperate softwood forest. Tropical hardwood forest can be bifurcated among two. First is evergreen type of forest and deciduous type of forest. Right? Now, evergreen and deciduous, these are the two we have. So, tropical evergreen forest, from this chapter, what are the most important question? First thing first, we would understand the features. What are the features of the forest, and specifically the trees emerge there in that particular forest. and examples of plants and animals are very important. Okay, and third point will be the location. So we will work on this 3 points for each and every classification. We going to read in this chapter. So tropical hardwood forest, on the basis of temperature and rainfall, tropical hardwood forests are further divided, as we have already talked about, evergreen and deciduous forest. So let us dive into evergreen forest. What are these? These forests are also known as tropical rainforest. Now where can we see it? Let us quickly draw a map for you so that you will be understanding the concept easily. So if you consider this as map of world, so roughly I have drawn. So here comes our 0 degree, where we are saying the sun is giving direct sun rays throughout the year, and as you can see, the mass of water is also present. So water gets heated up, and each and every day we are getting convectional type of rainfall there. Almost on an average more than 200 centimeter rainfall occurs throughout the year. So there's no such need of moisture retention and all. They are getting abundance of moisture. That's why the trees always remain green. Thus we call it evergreen forest, and our other name is we have rainforest. So Amazon is the great example of rainforest. We know where is Amazon. Here it is, Amazon basin. Some more basins we'll find like Zaire, Congo river basin, or Zaire Republic. We have here in Africa. Some Southeast Asian island countries. The patches I'm drawing in the Southeast Asian area, and some other areas of Western Ghats also we can get. So these are the areas where tropical rainforest we find. They are spread in the areas of Ivory Coast, Andaman and Nicobar Island, Ghana, Nigeria, Cameroon, Gabon in Africa, in India, in Western Ghats, Andaman Nicobar Islands also we get. Kerala and northeastern part of our country. So the emphasis on where there we are receiving good amount of rainfall and a moderate heat, there will be tropical rainforest. So the favorable climatic conditions for these forests are heavy and well distributed rainfall, 200 centimeters rainfall, and hot climate throughout the year. The hardwood trees of these forests are very tall. Now tall up to 60 meters. So this is the point of feature, or if I say state three features of the trees found in tropical rainforest. So this will be one point. Second, the several species of trees found in single area. This forest characterized by the dense growth of vegetation. Fourth, the trees have broad leaves and permit transpiration of surplus moisture because there's excess. Okay, some of the typical examples. So example doesn't comes under point, but you still can include it in a point. Some of the typical trees are mahogany, ebony, rosewood, rubber, palm, etc. And the animals found here are mostly arboreal in nature who resides on the trees. Okay. So these are arboreal animals, lemur, monkey, deer, it's, I mean lemur and monkey, chimpanzee, these are the arboreal animals. Other than these, elephant and deer also found. Moving on to the next, tropical deciduous forest. These are the forest also known as monsoon forest. Where there is monsoonal climate, we can get tropical deciduous forest there because they are common in the monsoon areas of the world. These forests are commonly found in India, Myanmar, South China, East Brazil, central parts of America, and these forests thrive in regions where climate is warm with distinct wet and dry season. So deciduous forests receive summer rainfall in the month of June, July, August and September, ranging about 100 to 200 centimeter. So where there is monsoonal type of climate, we can get tropical deciduous there. Most of our country is having tropical deciduous type of climate, especially the northern India. Right? The vegetation in this forest is not as dense as equatorial or tropical evergreen forest. The deciduous forest have predominantly broad-leaved trees, medium-sized leaves, and they shade their leaves during the dry season. Why do they shade their leaves during dry season? To conserve moisture. Okay, as like equatorial region, then there is no abundance of water throughout the year. We are not receiving rainfall. We just receive rainfall good to moderate amount from June, month of June to September. So for all these 3 to 4 months we are receiving rainfall. So during the dry season they shed off excess or dry leaves. So this is how they are retaining moisture in them. Now next point, first point though, the feature of monsoonal forest or deciduous type of forest, we have got they shed leaves. Second is trees are medium in height, 30 to 40 meters, and the examples common trees are sal, teak, sandalwood, bamboo, shisham, etc. Eucalyptus is common in Australia. The animals found in deciduous forest like lion, tiger, elephant, numerous kinds of reptiles, etc. Now, talking about eucalyptus, if you use topo sheet someday, you will find in the plateau, dry plateau regions or badlands, eucalyptus and another tree called acacia is planted. These two trees are planted to bind the soil. The areas which are very prone to soil degradation or land degradation, these two plants are planted. And these are not from India. These are all exotic plants which are brought from some other country, and for our own good we are planting this. Okay, one of the reason you can get that more plantation can be there where the areas are degraded. Okay, if you have understood both of these kind of hardwood forest, both the tropical deciduous and tropical evergreen, let me take you to Mediterranean region. For that I need a map first. So let me find a place where I can draw. Okay, Mediterranean region is the location, if you ask for, that is mostly in the areas of Africa, South Africa, and the Mediterranean Sea, the coastal areas of Mediterranean Sea, both Africa and Europe. Europe, Asia, North Africa, southwestern part of South Africa, we can see Mediterranean type of forest. So location is done. Moving on to the forests are usually found in the areas which have dry summer and a moderate rainfall during the winter season. So this you need to keep in on your head. Trees of these forests are widely scattered, spiny. So these are the features: widely scattered, have spiny, waxy, small, leathery textured leaves to retain moisture. They also have long roots to acquire water, thick bark. Due to above feature, these trees are able to retain moisture in the dry season. And winter is wet. The important trees, this forest are cork, olive, citrus fruit trees. The popular animal species found in Mediterranean forest are Mediterranean monk seal, Barbary macaw, Greek tortoise, Iberian lynx, great bustard, etc. Now let us come to the citrus fruits trees, olive, or these cork tree. From the cork tree, the beaker, the cork of any glass beakers are made. And olive are very famous in the Mediterranean region, like the countries which are along the Mediterranean, like Rome, Italy, several other European nations. You must have seen that they are of Italian food items, are very, olive is very common in them. So olive is there. And citrus fruits, they have different orchards for the citrus fruit plantations and vineyards. Okay, for grape cultivation is famous in the Mediterranean forest. They are cultivating grapes, and they have large vineyards where wine factories are there. Okay, along with the grape plantation farms. So this is one another economic point of the Mediterranean region I gave. Moving on to the temperate softwood forest. Now, temperate softwood. Softwood is very famous for paper industry, right? Paper pulps, paper industry, newsprint, and all. So this economic significance we know about temperate softwood forest. Let us come to why do we call them coniferous forest? Because these forests, the trees are needle shaped and they are conical in shape, so that they can shed off the extra snows from them. So that's why they have a conical look. That's why coniferous forest. These are found in higher latitudes of the northern hemisphere and high mountains in Europe, Asia, North Canada, and USA. In India, the temperate softwood forests are found in the southern slopes of Himalayan terrain and are also called as alpine forest or mountain forest. We say na alpine meadows or mountain forest. These are all same. You will observe that the conical shaped trees are found there, and the leaves are needle shaped. If the question comes that why these trees are having needle shaped leaves, to shed off snow. Okay, this forest are found in colder regions of the world, mostly in the temperate zones. Temperate zone starts from 60 degree, we all know, 66 degree half a minute north and south. So 60 degree to up to 70 degree, right? North and south. So precipitation is received in the form of snow in winter. How many of you have seen Chronicles of Narnia, the movie? Do comment it in the comment section down below. So the forest you see in that movie, that forest is basically temperate softwood forest or coniferous forest. Imagine that how it was looking when it is completely winter and frozen. The trees are completely covered with the snow. And once the snow is uncovered, the trees are completely green and all the conical trees are all around, right? So remember that and study temperate softwood forest. Moving on to the different characteristics of these forests. Most of the trees are tall and conical in shape. Due to their shape, the snow cannot accumulate on them. These trees do not shed their thick needle-shaped leaves and hence look evergreen. Pine, fir, spruce, cedar, deodar, silver fir, chestnut, walnut are some of the examples of the temperate softwood trees. These trees have commercial importance and are used for various purposes. such as making on pulp, plywood, etc. The animals commonly found in softwood forest are Kashmir stag, spotted deer, Tibetan antelope, snow leopard, tiger, golden eagle, etc. Now, as we have completed the different classifications of forest, what were these? Temperate softwood forest, Mediterranean forest, tropical deciduous, and tropical evergreen or tropical rainforest. So these were the four types. Let us come to what are the advantage of forest. Why are we talking about forest so much? Forests are the breathing lungs of the civilization. Without of forest. Forests are the breathing lungs of the civilization. As we know, plants gives us oxygen and takes carbon dioxide, which is not useful to us. Okay, so and are very important for the survival of the life on the earth. Forest helped us to breathe by converting carbon dioxide into oxygen. They provide safe habitat to the wild animals. Many people depend on their forest for their livelihood. um, Many tribal communities are even now also they are directly dependent on the forest for their bread and butter, like different tribes are collecting forest items, wood, timber, honey, different herbs for earning their bread and butter. Trees also help in keeping the earth cool. Sixth point, large forest cover helps causing rainfall. It also binds the soil particles, helps the groundwater level to raise and prevent flood. Now let us come to the deforestation. Deforestation in a rampant manner has depleted this important resource and led to the loss of habitat for wildlife, ecological imbalances and soil erosion. It is a matter of grave concern and therefore government has taken several stringent measures to protect our forest cover. What are these measures? Afforestation on large scale, each one plant one policy, efficient utilization of forest products, and usage of substitute of wood. Like we are getting paper from wood trees, so instead of using paper we can use cotton clothes also. Instead of using tissues are coming from the trees only, so instead of using more and more tissues we can use cotton clothes which can be washed and reused, so it would be more sustainable. Enforcement of number of law guidelines to uh, protest on rampant cutting on forest and prohibit deforestation, discouraging shifting cultivation which causes forest loss. Let us come to wildlife. Wildlife includes non-domesticated animals such as birds, fishes, animals which make forest as their natural habitat. It is the most important part of the natural ecosystem. Wildlife varies from place to place due to climatic variation. For example, India, there is a rich variety of birds and animals. Wildlife is very essential to maintain the ecological balance on the earth's surface. It is important for aesthetic values, ecological balance. The beauty of wild animals boosts tourism and creates job for the people. Animals' behavior changes at the time of natural disaster like tsunami and earthquake. If this information can be harnessed for imparting early warning system, then life of lots of people can be saved. Dead and decaying plants and animals also produce humus, which is helpful to maintain the fertility of the soil. In various parts of the world, wild animals are hunted for various purposes like meat, skin, horns, etc. This disturbs the ecological balance of the environment. Many birds have become extinct and many others are on the verge of extinction. Our forests are treasure troves of biodiversity. Biodiversity, life and diverse, that means numerous kinds of lives will emerge, that is biodiversity. They harbor millions of species of animals and plants. Our wildlife suffers severely due to deforestation and urbanization. Many animals have become extinct because of the lost they have lost their natural habitat. Hence there is great need for the conservation. Now, how come they are losing their habitat? Because due to overpopulation, we are urbanizing, making a forest, uh, cutting down the forest and making cities to provide shelter to them. And by this, we are just encroaching forest and we are taking away the animals' shelter. Animals are coming out and they are entering villages. That is not true. You are encroaching to their shelter. That's why they are lacking of food and shelter. That's why they came out, right? So several steps are being taken by the government of India to conserve the wildlife. Some of these are hunting and poaching of wild animals and birds, killing of wildlife. National parks and wildlife sanctuaries are being set up in different parts of the world. At present, India is of 103 national parks and 528 wildlife sanctuaries. And this number kept on increasing. Do check the current number of national parks and wildlife sanctuaries and inform us through the comment section below so that you and I both can learn hand in hand. Moving on to the difference between national park and wildlife sanctuary, the most important question which comes from this chapter. A national park is a well defined area for the protection of wildlife. Visitors can only visit the park. No one has the right to use any forest products. Collection of firewood, timber from any part of the forest is totally prohibited. Like Grand Canyon National Park of USA is a World Heritage Site by the UNESCO. UNESCO, United Nations Educational, Scientific and Cultural Organization. Wildlife Sanctuary is a declared protected area in which limited human activities are permitted. Hunting of animals, cutting of trees are banned. People can collect firewood, timber, medicinal herbs in a moderate amount, which can be used for research and educational purposes. The UNESCO has selected Manas Wildlife Sanctuary as a World Heritage Site. Now it's your homework, or you can write it in the comment section that where is this Manas Wildlife Sanctuary is located. So that is your homework and you should write it in the comment section down below. Moving on to the do you know portion. In India, Wildlife Protection Act is of 1972 prohibits spreading, poaching, hunting, trade of wildlife. In 1973, we have Project Tiger was launched in India with the aim of conserving tigers. Initially, 9 tiger reserves were set up, which expanded to 39 tiger reserves in 2010. Jim Corbett National Park of Uttarakhand is a famous tiger reserve of India. Moving on to the keywords, basin, a region drained by the river and its tributary. Citrus fruit, already told. Domesticated, the animals which are tamed as pets or for agricultural purpose, they are domesticated. Poacher, a person who hunts for animals for commercial benefits. Transpiration, the emission of water vapors from the leaves of plant. So this is all about the chapter today.